All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. Football's back. Jets football's back. Feels so good, right? I got the Bears game on in the background here. Let's freaking go, right? Let's freaking go. The first preseason game between the Washington Commanders and the New York Jets just wrapped up. So much positivity here to dive into, right? We had guys turning heads. We had guys making plays. Some guys we kind of expected it from. Some guys we didn't, right? So let's just dive right into the recap. So first things first, let's talk about the first drive here. So Jane Daniels in the Commanders offense, they go right down the field and score. Daniels connects on the perimeter with an absolutely beautiful pass. And JBC actually had some good coverage on the play. You know, I saw a couple tweets saying that he got burned, he got just beat. Personally, I disagree. I thought it was actually really good coverage, but you know, in the NFL, right, whenever you have a perfect pass, that beats perfect coverage 90% of the time. So I don't want to get down on JBC too much for that one play, especially because he made some plays later on in the day. But again, Washington, they went right down the field. Jane Daniels, he kept it on the read option, shot right into the end zone. And I felt, you know, objectively, looking at how Washington came out, I did think it was pretty cool, right? I thought it was sweet how over the last 48 hours, Washington heard over and over and over again on them, you know, how they got dominated in the joint practice session on offense, defense, and on special teams. I mean, people were roasting Washington on social media. So because of that, Washington came out, they were on fire, went right down the field and got in the end zone. And then on the flip side, I thought it was a cool moment for the Jets to, you know, kind of have that first drive as a wake-up call. Like, okay, you know what? Washington isn't laying down. This is professional football. A lot of these guys are, I mean, pretty much, I want to say everybody outside of Clemens right now and Joe Tippmann, everybody's a backup. So, you know, how do these young guys respond to getting punched in the face early like that? I thought they did a really, really good job. They kind of settled in after that first drive. And granted, Daniels was taken out of the game. Marcus Mariota, we saw a little bit of Sam Hartman, Jeff Driscoll. So you can argue, you know, they're downgrading at the quarterback position, but I digress. The bottom line is the defense stepped up, right? After that first drive, I really like how they responded. Guys were flocking to the football. I felt like the defensive line was getting into the backfield. Again, a lot of positivity here. Let's talk about some of the standouts on defense, right? Jalen Key, man, was he all over the place. He looked like a classic Nick Saban polished defender, right? A Nick Saban safety, right, where they have that high defensive IQ. They come up and they have success in stopping the run. Always around the football, high floor type of player. They're developed, they're coached really, really well. Awesome facilities. You know, you look at Alabama as a program, of course, under Nick Saban. We'll see what happens with DeBoer here, but you know, they're in A+ environment to grow as football players. And Jalen Key definitely looked like he belonged today. I mean, he did not look like the last pick in the draft. I can tell you that. What did he have? 6-7 tackles or something? I mean, he looked damn good, right? On the inside of the defensive line, I thought Tanzil Smart looked freaking awesome. What did he have? 7 tackles or something? I counted 7. Leonard Taylor had that sack, getting in the backfield multiple times, 2 tackles for loss. Leonard Taylor looked freaking great, man. Watching Leonard Taylor fly around, because I did watch him back at Miami, that was sweet, especially because he was doing really, really well early on. It wasn't like Washington, you know, we're waiting until like the garbage time or like the, you know, last minute and a half for Leonard Taylor to emerge on the scene. No, he was playing pretty good football right from the beginning. Right, so, you know, again, guys flying around the football field. Surratt, I thought the corners, you know, outside of that deep shot, but even on that deep shot early on, they looked good. Stiggers let up one bigger play, but he slipped on it, so, you know, it is what it is. But again, on the day, I thought that really the entire defense, they were playing heady football. They identified the football, they would flock to it. I didn't really get the sense that the defense was ever really overwhelmed or outmuscled or outsmarted or anything like that. You kind of always felt like the Jets defense, at least in my opinion, they always had the edge on Washington's offense, again, outside of that first drive. You know, I know a lot of people are going to point to Michael Clemens not really doing a ton, Will McDonald not really getting in the backfield and causing that much havoc. I mean, it is what it is. You know, one game of preseason, I don't want to overhype it too much or get down on these players or anything. You know, it is what it is. I figured that they would have better days, But again, we'll see look, if it happens again in Carolina, again with the New York Giants, Reddick isn't showing up, then I could say, all right, maybe we can look into it a little bit further. But as of right now, I don't want to, again, come down on these guys too hard here. Now, flipping over to the offense side of the football, we got to talk about the quarterback position, right? First off, Tyrod Taylor I thought looked good. I know he didn't really have much stats. He actually had one really nice play where he broke outside the pocket and hit a man downfield. That came on a third down, but it ended up getting called back from a penalty. But Peasley, right? He comes in and manages the game. Granted, it was a lot of short passes, but he looked calm. I think Peasley looked really calm in the pocket, which is something that Zach Wilson did not do. Tim Boyle did not do. Trevor Siemian better than the other two, but Peasley to me looked just super. I know where to go with the football. He looked well informed. He didn't really look rattled. He didn't really look like a deer in headlights. And all things considered, undrafted free agent from Wyoming, Utah State, Wyoming, then the New York Jets. It's not like he's a five-year veteran here. For his first kind of experience in the NFL, I thought he looked extremely poised back there. Didn't turn the football over. Had a great TD pass to Jason Brownlee in the back of the end zone. Let's freaking go. I was pumped up for him. Unfortunately, Brownlee only did just have that one catch, but hey, it was a touchdown, which ultimately won them the game. Only winning by 3 points here. On the day, Peasley was 8 of 11 for 73 passing yards with 1 touchdown. And then we also got to talk about Adrian Martinez. And look, I understand he only completed 6 passes, but he was 6 of 10 for over 100 passing yards. But man, using his legs, getting outside the pocket, whether it's picking up a first down with his legs or extending a play. I mean, he had 2 really nice throws where he was almost falling like off into the side, and was able to drop it in the bucket. One of which came like late in the fourth quarter. It was awesome on that. I think it was that last drive where the team ended up getting that field goal. But Adrian Martinez, man, like it is night and day compared to last season when we look at the quarterback position. And trying not to get too ahead of myself here. It's one preseason game, but so far we're talking about Aaron Rodgers, Tyrod Taylor, Peasley, Adrian Martinez, and we have Jordan Travis coming back from injury. I think the Jets quarterbacks did a great job today. I mean, they not only just kept us in the game, they ended up winning the Jets the game because of their play. Let's shift over to the running back position, right? This is probably the biggest storyline I would say from the day. Bralon Allen, Isaiah Davis, these dudes looked great, right? Bralon Allen especially, man, looked like a bowling ball out there, always falling forward. Gets hit on the initial at one point, he took on 2 defenders and fell like an extra 2 yards. It was crazy. He kind of reminds me, his running style reminds me a little bit of Lendell White, former Titan running back years and years ago. He was kind of the thunder aspect to when the Titans had CJ2K, kind of lightning guy, and then Lendell White would come in on the more power downs. Lendell White would still make plays in open space. Bralon Allen, man, I mean, he was trucking defenders over, so hard to bring down. He has that burst, has that acceleration, has a ton of... It's so crazy because Bralon Allen has so much college experience, has 3 years under his belt. He comes in at 20 years old as a mid-round pick. Think about all the tread, He comes in as a mid-round pick at 20 years old. I mean, it's so rare because typically, if you have a experienced, seasoned running back, highly decorated running back coming out of college who's being drafted in the mid-rounds, chances are he's probably like 22, 23, maybe 24. Probably not, but 22, 23. Bralon Allen's 20. Bralon Allen, like that's insane. And then as far as Isaiah Davis is concerned, he looked a lot quicker, a lot more explosive than what I was expecting. A little bit more shiftier as well. So, you factor those guys in with Breece Hall up at the top of the depth chart. And then you have, talent in the bottom of the depth chart with Valladay and Izzy, competing it out for, who's going to be that RB4. We'll see. We'll see if the Jets even keep that fourth running back. But man, what a day. What a day. There was a lot of positivity, a lot of positive stuff to go around here. I cannot wait until the Panthers joint practice, which I would assume is also on Thursday. I have to double check that date. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, right? Jets football is officially back. Let's freaking go. Got the win in the home opener, 20-17. Let's go. As always, go Jets.